So are you unsure about what to do with your stocks? I mean, this market is kind of crazy, right? It's probably going to get crazier. So if you're unsure, then I want you to keep watching this video because I'm going to give you the best strategies to managing your portfolio. First thing we want to talk about is diversifying your portfolio. Diversification is really key. It's basically spreading your investments out among different sectors, different industries, different asset classes with the primary goal of reducing the risk. One might go up, one might go down, but it balances the risk out. It increases your potential for making a return, and it even can increase the potential returns that you're going to get. According to a study done by Morningstar, a diversified portfolio had a median decline of 37% during the 2008 financial crisis, which is kind of what this chart right here shows. As you can see, the markets went down almost 50%. But in 2008, a diversified portfolio had a decline of 37%. Now that's a lot better, right? Non-diversified portfolios had a decline of 55%. So that's definitely helping your odds. I'm not going to say it's the full solution, but that's a good place to start. The other thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you're constantly reviewing your portfolio. So the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to review your portfolio on a regular basis. But I just want you to keep an eye on your stock's performance, and I want you to make minor adjustments. I want you to rebalance. For example, if your portfolio's, your alternative investment section, all of a sudden does really well and it becomes out of whack, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sell this part off and bring yourself back down to 15% so that you don't start encroaching on the rest of your portfolio. And what that actually does is that actually allows you to sell high and buy low. Now, this is all done with reviewing your portfolio and keeping an eye on this. These minor adjustments, you can decide how often to do them. Monthly, you can do them quarterly. Heck, maybe you just rebalance on a semi-annual basis. It's really up to you. But these adjustments, when you make them, they ensure that you're still on track to meet your financial goals. So here's another stat. According to the Journal of Financial Planning, investors who check their portfolios more than once a month, I want this to really set in. So if you're checking your portfolio every day or any more than once a month, on average, those investors underperform those who check less frequently by 1.5%. And you know why? Emotions, fear. If you're looking at your portfolio all the time and you're seeing losses and you're selling when they're going down, like you're probably doing yourself more harm than good because you're making emotional-based investment decisions. You got to use logic. There's a plan that you got to set in place. And that plan, depending on your investment strategy and what your needs and goals are, well, it can be short-term, mid-term, or long-term. If it's long-term, well, that person is underperforming for a very good reason. They're overdoing it. The other thing you have to do is you have to have a long-term perspective. Investing, in getting wealthy, that's definitely not a sprint. And a lot of people want to get wealthy fast. But you need a long-term perspective. Now, there's adjustments you're going to need to make and rebalancing you're going to need to do, but don't make hasty decisions based on short-term market fluctuations. Instead, stay focused on the long-term investment goals. Now, I don't believe in, buying and holding for the long term. I like making adjustments, but for this one, I always want you to have a long-term approach. It doesn't mean we can't make changes, doesn't mean we can't make shifts, just don't overdo it. Check this out. According to a study by JP Morgan Asset Management, investors who held on to their stocks for at least 5 years had an average annual return of 14.4% compared to 9.1%. That's a big difference for those who held less than a year. You follow that? Long-term approach. Now, if there's a big market drop or a big recession coming, obviously that's different. But as a whole, you want to actually keep your money invested for a longer period of time. Cutting those gains out, selling short, it's never going to do well for you. But here's a thing that I have found is tried and tested. Dollar cost averaging. So this is a strategy that works when you're scared to invest because you don't have to go all in any one time and then come back and be like, oh, I picked the wrong time. I bought in at the wrong time. So dollar cost averaging, it's a strategy in which you invest a fixed dollar amount on regular intervals. Could be monthly, could be weekly, whatever you want. Could be quarterly. I suggest monthly. That's how our cash flow works. So that's how I do my dollar cost averaging. I just systematically buy in. And I actually have done this weekly, and it worked out really well because you build habits for investing. Now, regardless of the stock price, the stock price for dollar cost averaging is not an important thing. What you're trying to do is you're trying to average the price of the stocks down by systematically buying into them. What this is going to do is it's going to help you avoid buying at the top, okay, because that's the worst thing you can do. Buying at the top, and it's going to also help you avoid selling at the bottom. Dollar cost averaging has worked very well for myself and also my clients. And here's a study. So there was a study done by the American Association of Individual Investors. Dollar cost averaging had better returns than lump sum investing in 70% of the rolling periods analyzed. Wow, that's a high percentage, and that's a number that should really get you listening. The other thing you got to do is you got to do your research. I say this all the time. Invest in things you know, like, and understand. For example, IBC banking, right? Private banking policies, alternative investments, precious metals, equities, treasuries. Whatever you're going to invest in your portfolio, make sure that it's something you know, like, and understand. And you want to stay informed about these companies that you're investing in. So whatever you're investing in, you want to stay on top of it. So if you're investing in certain industries, well, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse. This is going to let you make more of an informed decision because by staying on top of it, you're always in the loop about what's going on with your investments and with those specific companies. And it also helps you determine when to buy and when to sell. So here's another study. According to a study done by the University of California, they found this. Investors who spent more time researching stocks had higher returns than those who spent less time. Not bad, right? And it makes sense. People that are researching the things they're investing in are doing their due diligence. They're investing in things they know, like, and understand because they've researched it. Just logical, right? Stop making emotional-based investment decisions. You can see everything we're hitting here. It all comes down to logic versus emotions. Here's the other thing. Have an exit strategy. Have a plan in place for when to sell your stocks. Because how do you make money in stocks? You buy low, you sell high, and when you do that, you don't lose money. That's Warren Buffett's famous quotes. Buy low, sell high, and don't lose money. People never have a problem buying. They're going to buy low, they're going to buy high, they're going to buy all across the board. But where people fail is selling. You got to have a plan to sell. Set a set of rules. Now, whether it's a certain percentage or a profit or a specific time frame, it's important that you have an exit strategy. For me, I always know when I invest in something, I have a target. I want to make 20% or I want to make 10, and I'm only willing to lose 5 or 10%, whatever it is. I have rules I trade by. So because I have an exit strategy for everything I invest in, I guess I'm part of this study, even though I wasn't. But let's talk about this study. According to the study done by the Journal of Finance, investors who had a plan to sell their stocks outperformed those who didn't have a plan by 18%. That's a big number too, folks. Selling and taking the gains off the plate, whether it's through rebalancing or through a plan, is always going to outperform people that just don't have a plan and just blindly go in it. So remember, managing your stocks is a long-term game. It's very important to stay patient and to stay disciplined. You gotta remain disciplined. No matter what the market cycle is, no matter what the losses or gains are, stay disciplined. Follow the plan. Because with the right approach, you can build a strong and profitable portfolio over time. It's been done time and time again. So again, let's just do a quick recap because a lot of you are still maybe just a wee bit unsure about what to do with your stocks in these current markets. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you diversify. Spread those investments out over many sectors and different asset classes. And then once you do that, you want to review that portfolio on a regular basis. Keep an eye on the stock's performance. Make adjustments, rebalance, but also make sure that you have a long-term perspective. Don't make hasty decisions. Remember the study by J.P. Morgan? That was worth it. And also, if you're kind of nervous and you don't know how to do this, well, dollar cost averaging is a very good strategy. It's a good strategy whether you're nervous or not. And remember that study, people that did dollar cost averaging had better returns than the lump sum investors in 70% of the rolling periods. You can't disagree with that, and you can't ignore that. The other thing I talked about is doing research, staying informed on the companies that you're investing in. Constantly be doing your due diligence. And also that allows you to make decisions based on when to buy and when to sell. Speaking of selling, you got to have an exit strategy. This isn't just buy and like, I don't know when I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell when it hits the moon. No, you got to have a strategy in place. And if you do have a strategy, you're going to outperform those who don't have a strategy and don't have a plan by 18%. That's what the study said. So folks, these are easy things for you to follow. Not difficult. Set it, come up with a plan, diversify, all the things we just mentioned. They're all going to give you a much better chance. I mean, the studies prove it. So folks, I hope this helps you out a little bit. And if you like this, then check this video out. How do I stop being so poor? You should like that one. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see you on the next one.